Curious Owl here, and today I am bringing you my May 2018 TBR. So I did actually end up, as this video is being filmed, finished one book that was on this TBR, and I'll go into it in just a moment. But I do have 3 other books that I do want to try to read this month that I'm very excited to read, and I can't really wait to get started with it, so I'm just going to go right into it. So the book that I actually ended up finishing already by the time this video is up is The Female of the Species by Mindy McGinnis. I started this audiobook in the very end of April, basically I think like April 30th, and I finished it a couple of days later. I just ate through this book, but basically this one focuses a lot on rape culture and this idea that there's this girl Alex who has an older sister who was raped and killed 3 years prior to this story, and this kind of focuses on her senior year and also delves into the perspectives of 2 people that she goes to school with and becomes acquainted with and close with because she lives in a small town and they all kind of know each other in some way. And the story really focuses on this idea of small towns and rape culture within those small towns and kind of the underlying problems that come from different kind of idealized ideas about rape and about sexual assault. And I gotta say, it was absolutely impressive. I was really scared that this novel was going to take a very misogynistic turn, but I think that it really explained rape culture in a very elegant way and really brought up some great ideas that needs to be kind of acknowledged. And I have a whole review that I'm going to talk about this book with, so don't worry. But I did end up actually finishing already one book on my TBR for the month, so I'm very happy with that. The second book that I am going to be trying to get through in May is Beautiful Darkness by Cameron Garcia and Margaret Stoll, the second book in the Beautiful Creatures series. As you guys know, I've been trying to work through this reread. I meant to read this last month, but because of finals and everything and final projects being due all throughout April, it was very hard for me to read a physical book, so audiobooks were basically the only thing I was able to get through other than Catching Stars, which was an ebook copy. And I'm very excited to get back into this because I think this is actually my favorite book in the entire series, and I can't wait to be able to then also continue with the Beautiful Creatures world by reading all of the side books that are in it, because as you guys know, I didn't read those books when I first read this main series, and so I'm very excited to be able to get through the rest of the books at some point throughout this year. And I think I'm going to finally kick it off with starting Beautiful Darkness again, and I'm so excited. I can't wait because this is my favorite one, and I'm already at the moment 30 pages into it, sorry. And I'm still falling in love with it. I still love these characters so much and this world, and I can't wait to delve further into it over this summer. The next book that I want to read is going to be A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir, the second book in the Ember and the Ashes series, because last month, as you guys saw in my April wrap-up, I did read An Ember and the Ashes, and I absolutely loved it, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the next book. I'm going to basically try to find an audiobook of it, I think, because I really liked the way that the audiobook was done for An Ember and the Ashes, and I'm trying to get those 2 done so that I can read A Reaper at the Gates when it comes out next month. And I'm so excited because I love this world so much. I can't wait to see what happens to Elias and Laya. And the final book that I hope to read during the month of May, which is my random TBR pick of the month. I had my mom basically draw this while I was on campus trying to build my TBR as I was still on campus. So she ended up drawing my piece for me, and that is Desperation by Stephen King. Now, I gotta say, don't know if I consider myself a fan of Stephen King. I have read a lot of his work before, and I do enjoy it, but I also have a hard time sometimes reading through it. But my goal is that I want to try to get through all the books my mom has for Stephen King, because she has a lot. She really liked Stephen King when she was my age, and I do like I said, like his work a lot. I did read Hearts in Atlantis, and I read Carrie, and I read The Dead Zone at one time, but I got really lost with it, and so I decided to put it away. But I'm excited to read Desperation because I've never read this book. I don't even really know what this is about, so I'm going to read the inside flap because I don't quite know. Nevada is mostly a long stretch of desert you cross on the way to somewhere else, and with someone else, if you're lucky, because it's a scary place. Headed down Route 50 in the brutal summer heat are people who are never going to reach their destinations, like the Jacksons, a professor and his wife going home to New York City. The Carvers, a Wentworth, Ohio family bound for a vacation at Lake Tahoe. An aging literary agent lion, Johnny Marinville, inventing a gonzo image for himself astride a 700-pound Harley. A dead cat nailed to a road sign heralds the little mining town of Desperation, a town that seems withered in the shade of a man-made mountain known as the China Pit. But it's worse than that. Much worse. Regulating the traffic there is Kali Etrigian, an outsized uniformed madman who considers himself the only law west of the Pecos. God forbid you should be missing a license plate or find yourself with a flat tire. There's something very wrong here, alright, and Etrigian is the only surface of it. The secrets embedded in Desperation's landscape and the evil that infects the town like some viral hot zone are both awesome and terrifying. But as young David Carver seems to know, though it scares him nearly to death to realize it, so are the forces that summon to combat them. In Desperation, Stephen King's sweeping brush paints an apocalyptic drama of God and evil, madness and revelation. His genius for suspense has never been so finely honed, his imagination so shudderingly vivid as when his wayfarers and the readers who dare to follow their course begin to discover the true meaning of the word desperation. Holy crap, that sounds really, really cool. I do like Stephen King a lot for his dark content. I really want to be able to get through this. It's a very, very long book. I think it's like almost 700 pages, which is not his longest by far. I know for a fact that The Stand is his longest book with over 1,000 pages in it. And actually, I think maybe It is close running with that because I think that one's over 1,000 pages as well. But I'm really excited to read this. I'm excited to kind of get back into Stephen King because I haven't read his work in a long time. I think I read Hearts in Atlantis when I was senior in high school, maybe freshman in college, so it's been a few years, and so I've been meaning to get back into Stephen King, so I'm glad that I finally drew a Stephen King book for my TBR, and that I get to finally read this one. So there you guys go. Those are the books that I plan on reading in I almost said April, in May. If there are any other books that I do get to in the month, that is going to be all the better because I'm going to have a lot of time this summer. I'm basically deciding to not work over the summer. I've got a lot of work that I can do at home through the Writing Center as I'm doing a lot of onlines, and I really want to take this summer to just relax and read and actually work on my books that I've been working on recently, which I'll go all into in my writing vlog for April. So yeah, but those are the books I plan on reading. Let me know what you guys are going to be reading in this month if you are partaking in any readathons. I know there's a couple readathons going on this month, but I don't really want to get involved with them just because I have a hard time getting through readathons, especially when I'm supposed to have a flexible schedule because things then get kind of hectic when I try to have a flexible schedule. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. If you guys did enjoy it, please do give it a big thumbs up. And if you're not already and you'd like to be, hit the button down below and subscribe to become an owlet in our flock. And I will see all of you guys in my next video. Bye guys!